welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, here in Ala Mhigo, or rather in the capital of Ala Mhigo, where we have this meeting with the Alliance leaders, and... Hey, you two. Let us hope that the coming meeting passes more peaceably than the last such gatherings in Ala Mhigo. It occurs to me this will be the first time I will meet the leaders of the Alliance in an official capacity. Most of greetings, pleasantries, formalities, does that sound about right? Ishtola has told me all, and I duly told Urianji and Kryl. Kryl in particular was concerned about Alphinaud, but I assured her that everything that can be done is being done. She agreed to continue with her own task for the time being, on the condition that I contact her the moment there's any development. So that leaves 4 of us to attend the council. Ironwald is here to assist with security, incidentally, though the poor lad seems altogether too distracted for the task. Another one missing Alphinaud, I expect. But it's almost time. As soon as you're ready, present yourself to the guardsmen at the palace entrance. I shan't be far behind. Oh, the Scions of the 7th Dawn. Welcome to Ala Mhigo. The Alliance leaders have already arrived. May I show you to the meeting chamber? Cutscenes. Lords of cutscenes. Bring time.
Mistress Lys, Commander Aldin, it gives me great pleasure to formally welcome the city-state of Ala Mhigo to the Eorzean Alliance.
The pleasure is ours, Your Grace. I know I speak for all Ala Mhigans when I say that we are glad of this chance to stand with our comrades of the Alliance.
And we, for our part, are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and new.
Lord Hien of Doma, at your service. Pray, accept my heartfelt thanks for your generous invitation.
Nay, 'tis we who must thank you for journeying so far. And 'twould be remiss of me not to acknowledge the part the Scions of the 7th Dawn have played in bringing all of us together. In times of great unrest, you and yours have been our constant companions, without whom we would not be here.
It's nice being acknowledged.
With apologies to Lord Hien and Mistress Alize, it occurs to me that we have not gathered in this way since that fateful day in Uldar.
The day I lost my arm and my freedom. As I lay in my cell, never did I dream that I would one day be given the chance to represent my homeland at this council. I would not even be alive had you not plucked me from the jaws of death. You, Yugiri, and Alphinaud. Would that the lad could be with us.
I too owe my presence here to Alphinaud, in so many ways. Until such time as he returns, I mean to carry on his good work as best I can.
Come, friends. Let us leave the past in the past and turn our eyes to the future. My Lord Hien, pray, tell us how things stand in the east.
Reporting.
Having heard the rumors of dissent in Garlemald, I dared to dream of a peaceable solution.
The Empire will not so easily change its ways. If the Garleans have a mind to take back Doma and Ala Mhigo, we'll be hard-pressed to stop them, even with the might of 6 nations. But while we lack the strength to fight the tide, a course may yet present itself, if we read the winds aright.
The winds suggest but one course to me. One which leads from the sea unto the river and thence to the source of all our woes.
The Ascians.
Indeed. All here have felt their blighted touch. It was the bringers of chaos who nurtured the Archbishop's tyrannical ambitions. They who bestowed upon him the secrets of summoning, as they have so many others before and since. And while they remain, we shall know no peace.
Our objective is clear. The question is how to achieve it. That our enemy parades about in Zenos' skin poses problems in itself, but ere we get to them, how are we to infiltrate the Empire and get close enough to strike?
While I see the wisdom in targeting the Ascians, an assassination attempt on Garlean soil would do little to aid our cause, even were it to succeed. It's time we used our enemy's preferred tactic: subterfuge.
You have an idea?
Speak your mind, Master Thancred. None here know the enemy better than the Scions, and you mayhap best of all. Whatever it is you propose, we will give it fair hearing. On that you have my word.
Very well, Admiral. My proposal is thus. We dispatch the shinobi to Imperial territory. There, they sow the rumor that the Crown Prince perished in the battle for Ala Mhigo, and that the man parading around is in fact a corpse inhabited by a servant of darkness.
Not untrue.
Well, it does have the ring of truth about it. And were the Garleans to learn that their future ruler is a puppet, the Empire would be shaken to the core.
But at the risk of sounding stupid, would they actually believe such an unlikely story? I didn't.
Ordinarily not. But prior to his miraculous recovery, rumors of Zenos' death had already begun to circulate around the Empire. Ultimately, however, what the masses believe is not our chief concern. Our true objective is to create an opening for rival factions within Garlemald to exploit.
Just as a war of succession erupted in the wake of Emperor Solus's death.
A war which raged until but recently, plunging the Imperial House into disarray as nephew and uncle grappled for the throne. It is no coincidence that one of Varus's first acts as Emperor was to name Zenos heir apparent, family feuds being so tiresome when armies are involved. Not all welcomed his choice of successor, however. There is no shortage of individuals who aspire to the throne, who would jump at any chance to seize power. The news that Zenos is not only dead, but a puppet to diabolical forces, would be too enticing to ignore.
The Empire would not be quick to recover from a second war of succession.
I am no stranger to infiltrating Imperial territory. With a team of operatives gathered from among the Alliance's finest, the plan should have a reasonable chance of success.
Reasonable?
Doma already has shinobi in place throughout the provinces. We stand ready to act, and act we must. What say you all?
I'm for Master Thancred's proposal. We shine a light upon the Ascian and test the Empire's unity. 'Twas his plot that scuttled Doma's negotiations, was it not? Why then, if we can eliminate him, there may yet be a chance for peace. Let us wage this war of subterfuge, that we may one day lay down our arms. Gods know we never will while the Ascians remain.
What is...
That way. Sorrow. History must be changed.
Who is this?
Ahead looms a calamity. Ahead looms light, expunging all form and life. Twin dooms only you can forestall. Only you.
What's the matter?
There's a voice!
Spies in our midst?
Nay, I sense no such presence.
Let expanse contract. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
What's that?
Is it over?
Thancred?
Master Thancred!
12 for Fend. Bear him to a private chamber. Have every healer make ready. Swiftly!
Master Thancred remains in slumber. Though his vital signs appear stable, he's unresponsive.
What could have done this? And why just him and not the others?
I'm afraid we could not identify the cause, my lady. Our examinations revealed no wounds, nor the presence of any poisonous substances.
Gods, that only makes it worse. You're to let us know the moment there's any change, all right?
Thank you for coming. Knowing Thancred, he would apologize for being otherwise engaged at so crucial a juncture.
In gifting us a course of action, Thancred sowed the seed of all that is to follow. We have but to nurture it as best we can. To him, I would say, rest easy, that he may wake to enjoy the fruits of our labors. Now, the matter of the mysterious voice must not be forgotten. Will you tell me exactly what happened?
Alize and I heard a voice in the moments before Thancred collapsed. It was accompanied by a severe headache, as if something were clutching at our minds. Did you experience the same thing?
Yes.
So, in between the voice and the pain, you felt as if you were somewhere else entirely?
Your testimony confirms my suspicion. That which you experienced was, I believe, your soul being plucked from your flesh. Called.
Called?
I myself examined Thancred. Reach out as I may, I could not sense in him the spark of life that is his soul. That Thancred alone was stricken so is likely due to his heightened sensitivity to the effects of ether. A consequence of his prior possession by the Ascian Zenos. The owner of the voice, whoever it may be, reached out to you, called your souls, and in so doing, caused you and yours such pain.
But if that's true, where exactly are we being called to?
I know not. Yet one thing is plain. Whoever waits for you on the other side is possessed of a power unlike any I have ever known.
Forgive us, Lys, but may we leave Thancred in your care for a time?
But I do not believe a voice is hostile. It spoke a warning here.
As if you had to ask. I may not be a scion anymore, but I'm no less a friend. Don't worry. I'll see to it that Thancred's well looked after. Just focus on solving this mystery, all right?
Thank you, Lys. As the Elder Seedseer says, 'tis no ordinary individual we are dealing with. Nor can we discount the possibility of Ascian involvement.
Whoever or whatever is behind this, the sooner we find out, the better.
So, Connie? Never have encountered such a phenomenon. If this is magic, it is beyond my ken. Don't worry about Thancred. I'll send word as soon as there is any change. If the Ascians are indeed responsible, we must take steps to protect ourselves. Though I know not how. Honestly, I doubt it. I just tried to call Urianger on his link pearl. He didn't respond, but I dare to hope that he is possessed of some knowledge we do not. Urianger, something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly started... What? But we should talk about this in person, alright? We'll meet you there. It was Urianger. He heard the voice too. In Fanalan? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicion, but if a voice also spoke to Urianger, there can be little doubt the Scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question, one to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. You've learned the emote endure. I shall be interested to hear how Urianger's experience compares to our own. Prelude and Violet. Urianger agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer. If there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Right, let's be on our way.
Urianger! Gods, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Ala Mhigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin.
And remember, Eorzea is known for being particularly strong in ether.
Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to... The voice... it calleth to me once more.
I hear it too.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Eorzean!
Throw wide the gates.
No! No, this can't be happening!
Oh. Another 2 bite the dust?
Y'shtola! Eorzean! Open your eyes! Open your eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
Remember what Lee said about asking us about taking care of Alize? That becomes more and more important. This is an unprecedented predicament for the Scions, but we must remain strong. The least of us, most of all. It cannot be discounted that Mistress Kryl has heard the voice as well. I will ask Ataru to send her word of what has come to pass. Did Miss something happen to Thancred? Who's bloody next? We had spoken earnestly of doing more to ease the senior scientist's burden, but not under these circumstances. No less so soon. I only hope I will be equal to the challenge. As a mage, I have some few scholarly acquaintances of my own, and will reach out to them for their insight. It may not be much, but it's my own little way of aiding Mistress Alize. Okay, sister, and I will turn to keep watch over the slumbering Archons. We not leave him untended even for a moment. Confound these old bones. Useless as I am, I should have been the one to be struck down. Forgive me. It was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, milady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber. But tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Ala Mhigo? I'm afraid so. For given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, milady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades, and how it may be cured. But we will rouse them, no matter what. That we will, Hoy. That we will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Limsa. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Worry not, Serenia. Oka and Anna are keeping watch over Mistress Y'shtola and Master Rianje. Pray keep Mistress Alize company. As you've probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady.
Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
Still have me.
and for that I am grateful. I don't know what I would do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
That we have. Noticed how the little guy looked up to her as she stood? Rest assured the little one's safe with us. Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It means a lot to me. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but we're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Minfilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone, mark my word. Much and more has happened in recent days. Some of it for the good, and some not so. But all around me, people continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphinaud, to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire. They march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share for you when you do.